Yay!
Hello.
I got a little nervous. I was like, wait, I don't know what happened there because I'm
I know. I was tapping. I was like, come on, give me something here.
look, I kid you not, I don't know what it is with me and this Instagram technology, but something always happens when I'm going live. If it's not an alarm going off or some sound issues or now having issues with having people request, I don't know what it is. Look,
Yeah,
someone said
technology. It is what it is,
it
right?
it has a mind of its own, seriously.
Uh,
I'm waving at everybody joining. Thank y'all so much
hel-
for being here. Vicky, thank you so much for sharing the platform with me today. I have been like super hyped for this live for over a month now because what we like just talked about it a month ago and planned in advance, and
it's
now the
been
time
in
has
the make.
finally come.
Yeah, it's been in the making, but I'm so excited to be here. I, love your work, and I'm just so happy to dive into so many gold nuggets on this live today with you.
Me too. So go ahead and give us like a brief introduction of who you are, what you do, and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Of course. Hello, everyone. I am Vicky Phan. I'm an online business and marketing mentor. I started as a virtual assistant, a social media manager myself, but within 6 months in, I decided to pivot into mentorship and haven't looked back since. Marketing, business, strategy is my jam. So I'm just so excited to, share my knowledge and my passion with you on our live today.
Most definitely. I'm super excited to learn from you because you know I am obsessed with your content. I love all the resources that you provide. It's like not only is it so beautiful and aesthetically pleasing, but it also is so jam packed with value and knowledge. So it's like I love to. Your notifications are definitely on this end over here because I love that. And if you're new to my page, I'm Alaina, the owner of Elite VA Services. I help virtual assistants or aspiring VAs create their own virtual assistant business and sign clients in 90 days. And that's why I'm so excited to talk to Vicky today about how to create that messaging that's going to attract your dreaming clients, which in turn will help you scale as a online service provider. So let's kind of dive right on in.
Let's do
So
it.
what why should people think about scaling as a virtual assistant business owner?
So, people should definitely think of scaling their virtual assistant business if you are feeling right now within your business that things are kind of floating along. Like it's the same old, same old. You're supporting your clients, which is amazing, but you're wanting more from your business, right? You're wanting to support more people. You want to maximize your time, and grow your monthly revenue. Then that would be like the perfect time for you to start scaling your business as a virtual assistant. Yeah.
So if people like have all those things lined up, how do they then know like when they're actually ready to scale?
So a lot of it really comes down to your mindset and how you're feeling like through your energy as well, right? Are you ready to kind of step outside of your comfort zone? Because if you're scaling, most likely you're launching new offers, you're selling lots of different things, you are showing up in different ways. Are you energetically ready to show up and start selling, be outside of your comfort zone a little bit? That's a factor to think about as well. Another is, what is your, audience looking like right now? Are you scaling and providing an offer that's going to serve your community? Is it something that your audience is really looking for from you? So definitely your personal energy and the energy around your community, your audience as well, I would have to say.
So you're just saying how you started out as a virtual assistant and then pivoted into this VA mentor. So how did you know when it was time for you to scale within your business and transition also from just being a regular virtual assistant to now, coaching hundreds of women around the world?
Well, for sure. First of all, it was about how I wanted to see the transition happening. I didn't want to be a virtual assistant and then dive full into coaching. I wanted to do virtual assistant coaching and then fully pivot and transition to being a mentor. So first step was kind of envisioning what do I want the next 3 6 months to look like for my business, and what do I need to do in order to get to where I really want to be. right? So first things first was really looking to see if there is a demand or a want for my offer. I was receiving a lot of messages from other people within my niche, asking, how do you get clients? I love your content, how can I create content like this? And it started from there, right? So it started me listening to what people were wanting from me, right? So that's how it.
Sorry, it just muted for a minute, but I heard what you said. So same here. I feel like that's the same exact, well, it's a very similar storyline for me as well, in the sense of like, I too, I still do virtual assistant work, but I am in the position of currently fully transitioning into being a virtual assistant coach. So it was the same for me. People were always in my DM saying how much they loved my content. How did I, what tools and systems was I using as a virtual assistant, or how could they, any type of resources that they wanted to attain with me, or like how I was running my business. They would always ask questions. So I was like, wait, I knew it was time to pivot some type of way, because I was like, wait, people are always asking for, my opinion and advice. So what can I do to create an offer or create some type of value that's going to, attract this new audience that I've attracted based on the new content that I was producing. So I just really went out there and started creating content that I felt as though was geared towards the questions they were asking me. So that also kind of leads us to our next question, or what are some need to knows for virtual assistants or online service providers before scaling? What do you recommend they know prior to even taking that next step?
Yeah, for sure. So it really like first comes down to, again, like listening to what your audience is wanting from you, right? So if you're having DM conversations with ideal clients, or you're having, on discovery calls, and you're finding your potential clients kind of shifting towards a certain type of offer. So for an example, let's say you're a social media manager right now, and you offer social media management, and you're in the DMs or you're on a discovery call, and you're finding a lot of people starting to ask you about, okay, do you offer social media strategy sessions? Or, are you, offering social media audits, or just like a one-time project kind of thing, right? Really lean into that and listen to what they're wanting from you. And then from then on is for you to kind of do some more market research. Is it just this individual wanting this from me, or is this like a reoccurring theme around your audience, your community right now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I always love how like detailed you are in providing your information here. I would like to add on the fact though too, that while listening to your audience and what it is that they're always asking you, just like Vicky had said in the beginning, it still has to be energy. It has to match what you want to do within your business. So even if your audience is asking you to provide a type of offer or service and it's not something that you're interested in doing, don't feel obligated to do so. Know that you are probably passing up on this opportunity to serve someone who is interested in, working with you. But again, at the end of the day, we created these businesses because we want to build a life or build a career around our life and the things that actually we enjoy doing and that actually feed our soul. So don't feel obligated to create an offer or service just because your audience is always asking you for it. Maybe
Yeah.
instead try to find a different route that matches what you want to do with your ethics, values, and morals, but still is a way that you can help that potential client just in a
Mhm.
different manner. So I
Yeah,
love that, like,
I
you're
love
like
that.
listen to your audience. And I think that even happens with me, is like always getting comments in regard to like a lot of virtual people asking for virtual assistants, but now that that's not the space that I'm in anymore or even want to do, that I always have to like redirect them to, hey, but fill out this form. I do have a program right now. Maybe in the long run, one of my trained virtual assistants can work for you. So it's like thinking of different ways to still keep them included with working within your business, but not taking away from what you want to do yourself.
Yes, I love that. I love exactly everything that you shared right there. Love it.
So I know that you're talking about like the things that people need to know in regard to like scaling, and we are really talking about messaging, but I know on here we also talked about like having those standard operating procedures, pricing, and some other things. So would you kind of go deeper into those bullets as well?
For sure. So when it comes to creating a new offer, or when you're scaling your business, there's going to be different systems involved, right? Depending on how you're serving them. So it's important to, when you create a new offer, when you are, fine tuning your messaging, making sure the, client customer journey, buyer's journey is, mirrored and reciprocated to what you want them to feel during that experience, in your world, right? So from the moment they land on your page to following you to, indulging in your content to applying to work with you and all of those steps, the little steps that add up to bigger vision, what's that going to look like? How do you want your ideal clients to feel before actually working with you? Right? Do you want to, be very techie with it? Right? So that's where, everything is automated, everything is followed through, and, you are more behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Or do you want it to be more hands-on, more connective, more relationship building? So each of those is going to be different intentions. But, at the end of the day, you want them to have the best experience. It just depends on what your intentions are, right?
Yeah.
And the way that you want to go with it.
Yeah.
So if it's like something more techy, you could, have a full workflow where they, apply to work with you, discovery call, so on, so on. Or if you want to be more hands-on and build a relationship before, following all through those steps, leave room to open to start a conversation in the DMs or through email, or hopping on a call, so and so, right?
I love how you always like, it seems like every time when you're talking about scaling or just like creating that messaging to attract those, authentic or dream clients of yours, you keep going back to, it always has to feel right for you. It has to feel good for what you want for your business. So
Mm-hmm.
I love how like it always keeps going back to put that responsibility on the person, because at the end of the day, again, you created this business, you're an online service provider, freelancer, virtual assistant, whatever you may be. You created that business because you wanted to do work that you enjoy. So I love how everything always goes back to obviously listening to your audience and doing your research, but overall it's about doing what you enjoy, because at the end of the day, that will exude through your work. It'll exude through your content. It'll also exude through your clients that you're helping, because then they're going to also like receive the benefits that you're putting out there. And then obviously that transitions into word of mouth and testimonials. So I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy how you keep bringing it back to like, it's really about what you want to do for your business. It's about taking the right steps to convey whatever message you have within your business that you want your brand to be represented as. So I enjoy how it keeps going back to that, because that's why we all created these businesses.
Yeah, I think ideal client symmetry between you and your ideal clients is so key when it comes to messaging, when it comes to, building relationships in the DMs through lead gen or just like engagement in general. It's about that symmetry, right? You have to feel really good about what you're offering, how you're showing up, the content that you're putting out. And you also want to be attracting those who you genuinely want to work with and calling in those ideal clients that respect your boundaries, understand that you only offer these services or these packages, and, don't really push against the boundaries that you have set up for yourself and your business,
Yeah.
right?
I love that. I recently had read a post, I can't remember who it's from right now, but they were talking about how like when you're selling your offer, it shouldn't be difficult. The clients that actually want to work with you, they know they want to work with you. They're ready to work with you. So if you're having those, awkward DM sales calls, or having those awkward, Zoom sales calls with these potential clients, then they're probably not even that target audience, because your target audience knows, they already know what they want to work with you on. They know the offer that they want to work with you with, and it won't be a back and forth. I mean, obviously, the initial maybe, but by that point, they've already consumed your content, probably all of it, and know that, hey, you're the person they want to work with. So like, I think that's also something to put in there, is that your audience that you want to work with, the people that you want to work with also want to work with you. And they won't take they won't play with you in that sales process. They'll be ready to take action.
Mm-hmm.
I also wanted to kind of go back. You were talking about, you said something in regard to like knowing when to fine tune your messaging. So how do you know for yourself when to fine tune your messaging? Because I'm always seeing you, not necessarily change your messaging, but you're always creating new content to advance the messaging that you probably were already portraying. So how do you know when it's time to fine tune that? And after you answer that, I have another question to kind of segue into that too.
For sure. So, if you are finding yourself, again, like attracting those non dreamy ideal clients, like you're on a discovery call, you're feeling a lot of tension or just awkward, you don't really vibe, or you're getting ideal clients constantly lowballing you, not being able to afford your offer, which is okay, but, they're not who you're looking for, right? So, if you feel like there is a gap within your business, you're not calling in the right people, things are feeling a little bit tense, or there's gaps, that's when it's time for you to kind of refine or, fine tune your messaging, right? If you are constantly attracting non-ideal clients, then most likely there's a gap within your content on who you're calling in, right? So if you are always, attracting those who can't afford your offer, but you are marketing your offer as, this is why it's more affordable working with a virtual assistant versus, an office assistant or something like that, right? You are, creating a vision for your ideal clients that it's cheaper to work with you or something like that. So that's what they're going to expect from you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So that's why it's so important when you're feeling tension or gaps to fill in those gaps through your messaging. So that can look like, calling in those people that you genuinely want to work with. For an example, I'm ready to take on, a new client who is ready to, hit send with all of their photos for me to post that following month. Or
Yeah.
I am, calling in those who are ready for me to fully transform those conversations and, fully emulate their brand voice. Are you comfortable with that? Are you ready to take that step and step outside of your comfort zone? You're calling in those people versus being very simple with it, if that makes
Yeah.
sense, right?
Yeah, it does. Because when you are simple or too broad, you're not calling in that ideal or specific client that you want. So it's like to get so detailed and specific with it. And sometimes I think a lot of us fear getting specific with calling in that audience because we don't want to miss out on the other opportunities. But I am a firm believer of what is meant for you will be for you, as
Mm-hmm.
long as you continue to show up for yourself within your business. And like you said, been saying, Vicky, as long as you're creating the right content that's going to attract your actual audience. So you can't create content that's saying, oh, it's affordable to work for me, and think that people are going to come to you wanting to pay this high ticket offer. You've created content already that has subjected you into that category of being a discounted worker or of that nature. And I really hate that term. I really don't like discount or cheap, because nothing about the work that any of us, any online service provider does is cheap or discounted, because we have literally like put our sweat, blood, and tears into creating these businesses and these offers that we have. Because I know that, I mean, I can definitely speak for both of us and anyone that I follow or love to watch their content, is I know, like you say, energy doesn't lie. I can see it through their content that they're being authentically themselves. They have integrity, they're trustworthy, they're transparent. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
that shows up through your content. So don't be scared to just be authentically yourself. Don't be scared to get so specific on the client that you want, because when you are very detailed on that offer, that's when those clients come in. And believe me, there are millions of Rachels who want have the same type of they have the same client persona, or persona that you want to have for your ideal client. So it's like there's millions of Alainas who may be interested in starting their own business, maybe at different, spectrums of their life, but they all still probably have that end goal result. So that kind of also made me think about, when you're talking about fine tuning your messaging and making sure that you're attracting content that brings in your type of clients, it made me want to ask you, is that something that you do with your close friends? And is that why you've created that like close knit community within your close friends where you share more detail? Tell us more about that and how that's been working for you.
Yeah, so I have a close friends list, and for those who don't have one yet, I highly encourage you to create one, whether it's, only of your ideal clients or only people within your community. Having a safe space for you and your audience of those who you really want to work with, or who those, really align with your business morals and ethics and are, the energy that you're looking for within your community. um, Having a close friends list is amazing because you can be like, I recommend you to be unapologetically yourself anywhere within your business platform. It's just more comfortable having a safe space that you get to control, per se, right? You get to, post whatever, you get to see exactly who's part of that community versus, having a viral reel and then having like a troll watch your Instagram stories and apply to that, right? It's a controlled setting that you get to, be yourself, and your audience has a safe space as well because they know within that community, I'm all about authenticity and not cold pitching, and I know that we both are, right?
Yeah.
Um, so, making sure that I vocalize with my audience and I'm calling them in that this is a safe space. Whatever questions you're asking, whatever polls you're voting on, unless you're like, you vote on the poll, I want to work with you. I'm not going to cold pitch to you. I'm not going to like reply and, how's business going, or, things
Yeah.
like that, because they know that. And when you have created that, phase of, comfortability, it allows you to kind of have a non-filtered messaging, if that makes sense. It's fine-tuned to the sense of your most authentic self,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I love that. I think that's honestly the best way to go about drawing in your clients is not doing the cold pitching, because I myself have experienced so many people cold pitching me, and it's often like, I hate these fake friendships that you're creating with me just to really end up trying to offer me something. And it's like half of the time when they're DMing me, I'm just very responsive. So I respond to anyone who messages me, because again, so who should be in your close? Sorry, someone just asked, so who should be in your close friends?
Yeah, so who should be in your close friends? Most likely your most warmest, engaged potential clients, ideal clients, right? So those who are voting on your polls, those who even like are lurkers that want to join just to be part of your community,
Yeah,
people within your niche, basically anyone you want and any kind of energy that you're craving for within that close knit
yeah,
community.
I
Yeah.
love that. But I agree with everything you're saying in regard to not doing those cold calls, because it doesn't feel authentic. It feels really forced. It
Mhm.
feels not genuine or authentic, and it really just takes out the fun of even wanting to build that network with that person, because it just doesn't, they're not genuine. They really just only came in here with one motive, which was to get me to sign on or join their master class or whatever, which I love watching master classes. I mean, I just watched yours. I've participated in a bunch of them, but it does not feel the same when, like, hey, how's your day? And then the sixth message they send you is, I have a Facebook group that da 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 da. Like, you never really even cared about how my day or anything was going on. So I'm all for uh, you know, reaching out when the person has reached out to me first or filled out an application or something of that nature. Once you've done that, then yeah, I'm going to be on you, not in the sense of like to harass you, but to hold you accountable, because there's a reason why you took this leap. So don't let the momentum behind your leap hold you back now, because all of a sudden, fear maybe has stepped in, imposter syndrome, as we all know.
Mhm.
And I'm definitely one of those coaches who's like, not going to sugarcoat stuff for you. Yes, I'm going to say it in the right manner and be very respectable, and, know that this is your baby. This is all of our babies. But I also am going to give you that tough love and make sure that you're not letting time pass you by, because we're not getting this time back. So
Mhm.
that kind of leads us to the next one is, how do you discover, or how can virtual assistants discover like specializations and or niching down in order to scale or create better messaging that's going to attract, their dreamy ideal client?
Yeah. So that really comes down to, first of all, like, what do you want to offer? Or what kind of, if you're niching down and specializing, and for right now you're a general VA or you're doing something very broad within your offer, what services do you enjoy doing most,
Yeah.
right? Some really like to lean into more admin, right? Or more behind the scenes structures. So maybe you want to specialize in being an online business manager. Some people really like the creative side of things. Maybe you want to do more content creation, design work, or so on. Some people like more techie things. Maybe you want to be a Dipsado specialist, or techie systems and things like that. No, there is a room for you wherever you want to do or whatever you wherever you want to go within your business, right? So it really just depends on what you want or what you're feeling called towards. If you find that there is also if you find like there's tasks that your general VA, there's tasks that really take a lot of energy and time that you don't even enjoy doing, stop offering it, right? And package up the services that you genuinely love to do.
I 100% agree with you. I tell my clients that all the time when they're asking me, especially in the program, because I do talk about like niching down and then I give them a list of like 22 types of niches. But I always say at the end of the day, the services and offers that you want to provide to your clients, it's what you love to do. It's exactly what you said. So, write out those hard versus soft skills, determine what are the skill sets that you already have. And then from there, what do you really enjoy doing? Like, what do you love to do? Because again, you're creating this business to do work that you enjoy, to
Mm-hmm.
make an impact. And you're really not going to make an impact if you're doing work that you don't love. I mean, I know I've been there. I worked for corporate where I was grateful for the opportunities, but I didn't feel like I was making a true impact because I was unhappy within my role. So that's not why we're here in businesses. So it truly is about doing work that you enjoy. Figure out what services and skills that you have. I mean, what skills that you have right now that you can turn into services. And you have a starting point of what offers you can utilize as a online service provider, OBM, virtual assistant, whatever it may be. So
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy how you say that, like, it is what you love to do, because that's truly what it is to do. So I know that you just talked about some of the ways to select a specialization or a niche. So then let's kind of hone in some more on what are some additional ways to scale in regard to like, having that specialized service, or you also had just talked about packaging that service. So kind of go deeper into that.
Mm-hmm. I also want to kind of dive into if you feel like there's a service that you genuinely like think that is essential to your niche. Don't be afraid to outsource and add people on your team who enjoy doing those things as well, and have that offered to your client base, and expand your business that way as well. So there's different ways to scale. It doesn't always have to be one way or another. But answering your question about scaling and different ways to scale, you can definitely go down the solo route. You can expand your team and your business, that kind of route as well. And even like passive offers, right? If you wanted to have more offers that maximize your time wisely and really help you work with those done for you clients, but also leave room open to working, in a coaching setting or a passive offer or a live program or a group program. There's so many different ways, and you can also do all of them if you want to, right? Just making sure that you have the time, and each offer is like scalable as well, right? So if, let's say, for an example, hosting a free masterclass, and then you wanted to after then launch maybe like a 1 day live workshop where it's like 5 hours long, but it's those topics that are more broadened, right? More specific within each hour. And then you launch a group program after that, right? That one masterclass was scalable in so many different ways, right? Yeah.
I love that. I think oftentimes people think, oh, let me do this one thing. And then that was the one way that they can scale without taking into account, like how you just said, that one masterclass scaled into not only the one VIP Clarity Day offer, but then scaled into even a one-on-one, which could scale into groups. So there's many avenues to take. I mean, even these lives that we're doing. These are opportunities. Because I always consider these, I wouldn't say obviously they're master classes, but at the same time, it is full of educational information that they can take and apply into their business to help them grow. So it's like even these lives can help your business scale by
Mm-hmm.
bringing in, drawing in that dreamy ideal client because of the messaging that we're providing here. So it's like, think of, there's, like, as you said, many different ways to scale, and there is no right or wrong way to do so, because again, it really goes down to what are the things that you enjoy doing? How do you want to scale as a business owner? Because again, you are the boss of your business. You get to make these decisions, and that's what it's truly all about. So when you were just talking about like creating that passive income, because that is a great way to scale because it doesn't really take too much effort. I mean, once you get the initial stuff completed for it. So what is the difference between passive income with digital products versus time blocking and working with a client?
So when it comes to time blocking and working with your clients on a recurring basis, you have only a certain amount of time that you're working with those clients. So it's whether it's billable, whether it's every month you're meeting up for a call or something like that. During that time is for you to be working with your clients, done for you, hands-on or one-on-one. And whereas passive is for you to, for an example, sit down, work on 2 hours on creating a workbook or something like that, and then that's all the time that it took for you to actually create that offer, and then it can be bought so many times from your ideal clients within your niche or within your community, right? So it's about maximizing your time. We all have 24 hours in a day, right? We all have the same amount of time, and it's for you to really maximize. So if you want to scale back from the amount of done for you client work and expand in ways of passive offers as well, it also kind of calls into different levels like low ticket, medium ticket, high ticket offers. It also helps the different, client phases that they're in. So within every niche, there's going to be a beginner, there's going to be, someone who is working with clients, someone who's going to be fully booked out, and they have passive offers as well. Really kind of meeting in the middle between, all the different phases and serving each of them as well, as you expand and scale your business with them. Again, about that symmetry, right? You want to make sure that you're in the right place and your ideal clients are in the right place to work with you.
Exactly. I love that. I think it's so important how the messaging keeps going back to making sure that, you're always, not only are you in the right place within your business, but again, that you're making the right messaging and content to make sure that whatever audience that you're bringing in at that specific type is also attracted to your offers based on where they're at within their business. So how you said making those passive income or that content at different the different levels of where your ideal client is. I think that's so important too, because it's hard. I think a lot of us forget that, yeah, we don't just have one ideal client, we have many. There's a variety. I mean, and just like you were just saying, that there could be a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced, but all three of those are still your ideal client, just at different phases within their business. So it's so important to remember that, because I think a lot of the times, even myself, we forget that we do have a variety of ideal clients. They're just all at different phases within their business and their lives, because again, everybody is growing, evolving, and changing. We don't expect to stay at the same place. I mean, you and I ourselves, we pivoted too. Like we didn't stay a virtual assistant forever. Like we transitioned as well. So I think that's so important to know that your ideal client too, at oftentimes may have been you and or is you.
Yeah.
Because I could definitely promote to Alaina back in the day, just regular virtual assistant Alaina, and or even now, like, if people are wanting to transition into how to move from a VA into a coaching aspect. So it's same with you. So I think that's so like key to hone in on, is that like we're all evolving, we're all growing and changing. And that's why it's so important to remember that you sometimes are your ideal client, and to think about your messaging, your pain points. What are the things that fed your soul, or what are the things that you would look at for content when you first launched your business? Because a lot of the times you are your ideal client.
Yeah, and again, time is on your side. Like, if I don't want you to walk away from this live feeling like, oh wow, I need to launch 10 different offers for all different phases. No, the thing is, it's about taking those baby steps and scaling your business in the way that you want to. Everyone's timeline is going to be different, but I don't
Yeah.
want you to rush this process either, right? Because it comes down to that warm audience. It comes down to fine tuning your messaging, right? So don't feel rushed because, again, like back to our young BA self, it takes time to get to where you are today. So, um, so don't rush that process. Everything will kind of fall into place as you start scaling your business.
Exactly. Vicky, you're so correct. I always say to enjoy the journey because these steps that we're taking right now, the work that we're putting in right now, is what allows our future self to thrive. Like the steps that we took in the past is what has enabled us to get to this point within our lives and within our businesses. So it's so important to enjoy that journey, even in the times where it doesn't feel enjoyable, because then you'll be able to look back on those moments like, wow, a year ago, or, October 2020 when I really got introduced to the VA world. Now here I was introduced then and here I am now. So it's so good to like enjoy that journey. I love that you said that because no, don't leave here thinking you need to create millions of offers. Like whatever works best for you will work best for you. Just like Vicky said, your business will evolve and grow at the pace that you want it to evolve and grow because of the work that you're going to put in. So I love that you said that, which then also segues us into talking about how to start scaling your VA business. And I know that we've touched on that, but what are some of four ways that virtual assistant business owners can scale further within their business based on our bullet points here?
So definitely when it comes down to scaling your business, it depends on, first of all, like what you really want to offer, but genuinely understanding your audience, your community, and how they like to buy from you as well, right? Because it really comes down to your audience. Again, like that symmetry, it always comes back to that. But again, like it really make sure that you are listening to what they have to say before you launch an offer. Do some market research. Is this something that they really want from you,
Yeah.
right? And working from there. I'm just kind of looking at our notes here. Yeah, so marketing is really important because in order for you to have that fine-tuned messaging, you have to listen to what your ideal clients are looking for, but also you aligning with that as well. It's really important to have different phases and warming up your audience for the offer that you're offering, right? So whether it's a digital download, whether it is a group program or something, you're going to have to show up in different ways to nurture that offer, the way that you're scaling. Even visibility. So visibility is, you showing up consistently for your audience. So let's say you're sharing that you're going to go on live, commit to it, and really show up in the way that, shows that you are committed to serving your audience. You are, educating them, you're providing value for your community, really showing up in a way where, you're the go-to expert in a way. You know what I mean? Your ideal clients are going on your page every day, waiting for your posts, and kind of creating that VIP follower experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. I think that's what you've created with your close friends is that VIP follower experience. I definitely do want to emulate that in the future. I just think I'm gonna forget to post on my close friends or my regular, so I'm gonna have to figure out how it works best for me. But I know that that's what you've created with your audience because I love like even myself, I love being a part of your close friends because it does feel like again this tight knit community. It is a great way that not only do I feel like I've got like exclusivity with you because I'm like in your close friends, but
Yeah.
then you also give those valuable trainings and stuff. So I love how you talk about being visible and showing up for your audience in those different stages that they're in because again everybody's at different stages, but I love how you show that through your content already and especially through your close friends because you'll break things down even into layman terms. So I think that is so important to talk about too.
Mhm.
And when you were just saying in regard to this visibility, when you were saying like you make respect your commitments,
Mm,
because when you respect your commitments, if you say you're going to go live or at this time, or if you say you're going to do something at this time for your clients, whatever it may be, like do that, because not only is that building credibility for your brand and your business, but it's positioning you, like as you said, as that go-to expert in your industry. But it's also building transparency within your audience, and that's really what it's all about. Like, you want your audience and your supporters to trust you. There is nothing without trust, and that goes for everything in life. That's all relationships. Like, if you don't have trust, nothing will advance, because that truly is how you build any type of relationship, whether that be, a platonic one or an intimate one. If there's no trust, that's truly how it goes. And that is definitely in the same in regard to like sales and marketing,
mhm.
especially how much sales and marketing overlaps, and people don't realize that too. So I love
Yeah.
how you're saying, like, in regard to visibility, like show up, commit to the promises that you've made to yourself and within your business. So
Mhm.
what do you think are what are your preferred recommended tools and resources to help online service providers scale effectively?
Yeah, so when it comes to scaling, definitely map it out in a funnel, whether it's a brain dump. I really love this website called Funnelytics. I'll type it in here. Um, I love Funnelytics, and I do this with my clients if they're struggling with their onboarding systems or they are struggling with the bigger vision. It just helps you visualize really deeper of the full picture, right? So for an example, you can show, along the sides first is like what platforms or where are you, funneling in ideal clients. Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, depending where it's really your comfort level, Pinterest, whatever it is. Keeping it basic for now, let's just say Instagram, and then next is where you like mainly posting. So some people really love going on lives, right?
Yeah.
Some people really like to focus through reels or Instagram stories. Really, again, like marketing is so subjective in a way because it again aligns with your comfort zone, right? It aligns with what you like to do. You can book out in clients just through marketing on reels or just through posts itself or just on Instagram stories, right?
Yeah.
It's just leaning into what really works for you. So there is for you to map everything out, exactly where you're getting your leads from, what the next process is, how are you mapping out your content, how frequently are you posting, and things like that. What are some, little knickknack things that help you serve your community? So, for an example, I personally love doing mini biz trainings that are exclusive only on my close friends list because it allows to it's closer knit, allows conversations to open up, and it lets me know that you are wanting to learn more from me. You are, you value my boundaries, you value my morals and ethics when it comes to my business, right? We're on the same wavelength, so you're funneling them in through there. Close friends list. Another way I love to share is through carousels and reels to build relatability, more about my business journey and things like that. So
Yeah.
kind of identify, when you're scaling, how you would like to share your messaging or your main goal and value to your audience,
That's
right?
perfect. Some of the tools that I also recommend in regard to like when determining how to create your messaging, 100% agree with how you were saying, like poll your audience, because again, your audience, that's who knows what they want from you. So obviously make sure that you're polling your audience. I think also look in your comments, because sometimes, a lot of the times when you look in your comments or your DMs, they're asking you questions, which is also going to let you know, hey, this is the content that you need to create.
Mm-hmm.
But in regard to tools, I really love using like Pinterest trends, because that also helps identify like, what your target audience is asking, or what the type of content is that they're searching for on a regular, which then can help you create those carousel posts. I love carousel posts.
Yeah.
I think honestly, out of all of the things on Instagram in regard to lives, regular posts, all that, I think carousel posts are the best. I know that everybody's talking about reels. I make a lot of reels too, but
Yeah.
I just think that carousel posts just hit differently, just because most carousel posts nowadays are really providing like a lot of jam-packed value, and that's what everybody really wants. They want that nitty-gritty truth. They don't want that facade. So I
Yeah.
think using Pinterest trends is a great way to kind of determine what your audience is asking for. It's just like Google. It's just like also Answer the Public. So these are some resources that you can use that'll help you create content that's going to create the right intentional messaging, which is what we've really been focusing on here. So I think that's awesome. So how do you think people can call in their ideal audience to their offer once like creating that great messaging? What are some other ways that they can call that audience in?
So, of course, it's within your messaging as well. Another way is for you to show up through video content because, you know, when you are kind of think of the way that you invest, right? The way you invest in mentors, in different offers and things like that, most likely if you are able to create a genuine connection with them, even if it's through video or through our live right now, making sure that you feel drawn towards their content and understanding, even the examples that they're providing really hits the spot for you, most likely then they are the right coach to work with for you, right? Or whatever services you're offering. So that's why when you are calling in your audience, I want you to like show up as well and call them in directly, because through video content they can get really a sense of your style, right? Your style, your energy, your vibe. That's what is going to really make or break even a business relationship in general as well, is having the same level of expectations, being able to communicate freely. Let's say, for an example, you're a Pinterest manager or something like that, or maybe an online business manager. It really allows you to be open and be able to communicate through, exactly what your ideal client wants from you, but also have room for you to be like, you know what, I know that you're feeling this way, but as an expert, this is what I think we should do. And them hearing that and respecting your expertise as well, that's who you're really wanting to call in. And in order to do that, you need to show your personality out there. You need to show your energy and call in those right people from that, right? Yeah.
And I think the best way to do that is really to show up. I think a lot of times people think like the networking or the sales part is within the DMs or the comments, but in reality, it's in your stories. So just like Harry is saying, this is where you show up. This is where you talk to your ideal clients and or potential leads or whatever it is. This is where they really get to know more about the face behind the brand, because that's what they want to know. Yes, they want that offer. They want the offer that you have, but they want to know more about you, because they want to work with you. But if you don't have the same morals, values, ethics, if you really show up and you're not having that good energy, because again, energy doesn't lie, intuition does not lie, then you're going to be missing out on working with, these potential opportunities. So I think that the stories is a great place for you to show up, not just to post like, and reshare stuff, but to show up authentically as yourself. And maybe creating a close friends like how Vicky has is a great avenue for you to start with. I wouldn't say just start it without, if you don't have like a following yet, of course, show up regularly on your regular stories first, and then ask people who want to join your close friends. Don't just make a close friends and then like have nobody in it and you're talking to yourself, because then who's going to see? But I think the stories is a great way for you to just show up and be authentically yourself. Yes, you can do so through your content as well, but I think stories are just like, I love showing up, and sometimes I have to like catch myself from talking so much on there, and then I end up having like a million of the little blocks, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have talked so much today. But I think, people who resonated, my audience that resonates with what I'm talking about in my stories, they're going to follow through. They're going to go to the very end. So do you have any like last minute tips or advice that you want to share with us? Maybe like your top favorite tip or something in regard to scaling as a virtual assistant business owner, and also in regard to like creating that intentional messaging?
Yeah, of course. So again, with like the close friends list, I know some of you might be wondering, what is the difference of content that I'm posting on my main Instagram stories and my close friends list? So what I like to describe as is your main Instagram stories as, your business self, authentic, but also like professional, yourself, right? Whereas your close friends list, I like to share as like sometimes I hop on like, hey everyone, it's FaceTime vibes, right?
Yeah.
And like kind of like more like talking to a friend in the most unfiltered way. So, if there's going to be different, the different environment you hang out with, you're going to have a different side of you that comes out, right? So your side with, your parents is going to be really different from how you hang out with your friends or things like that. So I want to kind of show you that way. Whereas like your main Instagram stories, it's just like you be your business self, and of course like still inviting and being yourself. But then, your close friends list is like a next version of yourself, like the most, face mask on or like, FaceTime vibes and things like that. Another thing with, intentional messaging um, and scaling your business is to really show up, right? Is really to just be consistent with it. Everything will fall into place if you're consistent with it and you have, a strategy in place, right? So, you can scale, but I don't advise you to wing it. At least, sit down if, you're not working with a coach or anything, sit down, brain dump, and map out exactly, what the direction is going to look like instead of, going with the flow in a sense and not knowing exactly what direction you want to head in when it comes to scaling your business. So kind of have a plan of action in place if you are looking to scale your business for sure.
I love that. I definitely, I guess this is going to be our last thing, and then I want you to tell people how they could work with you. But I think that just how Vicky was saying to write down, have a plan before scaling. I 100% recommend investing in a mentor and a coach when scaling, because I personally don't think I could have done that without having the support, because there's so many little um, small details that you don't even consider when scaling that a coach could really help you fine tune and or not overlook. Because I just know from my own experience, I don't think I would have been able to scale effectively if I didn't have the support behind the scenes to know, hey, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to have on your back end. This is what I recommend you doing, or the tools that I recommend you utilizing. So, yes, you can do it yourself. If you do it, just like Vicky said, make sure you really write down, be very detailed and specific is where you want to go in your business. But if you want to do it the an effective way and get quicker results, not necessarily quicker results, but I think just better results, honestly, I would investing in a coach or a mentor, because they're going to make sure that you have the right resources and tools to scale effectively and not do things that are going to hold you back as your business evolves.
Yeah, I love.
So
And especially even with your emotions, like, your business is your baby, right? And you are passionate about what you're doing, but sometimes we're way too close to what the vision is looking like. So
yeah.
a lot of emotions that, play a role in. Again, like feel all the emotions. It's real, it's raw, it's normal to feel those emotions, but sometimes, like you're having a tough day, you're like, why is no one answering my polls, or why is no one, investing in this offer? It can be really frustrating, and having someone there to support you and, tell you again, kind of put you back into your place of like, okay, you're that person, like you got this, you're that CEO. And, I know it's tough right now, but look at what it's going to be like, right? So really having that, like, that mentor to help support you in not only the foundations and the strategy side of things, but even like just being a normal human being as well, and having someone supporting you that way who also gets it, because family members, friends, your partner, they get it, they're there to support you, but it's not the same. It's not, they don't understand it to the core unless they're in this industry, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
completely agree. Vicky, thank you so much for taking the time to, share the platform with me today and do this IG live. I've learned so much from you. I'm so glad that we were able to do this. Thank you for everybody that showed up and was, on here live, and to everybody that's going to catch the replay. I hope you enjoyed as well. Vicky, tell the people how they can work with you, where they can find you. Give us some details about that.
Yes, of course. So my Instagram, I'm sure you can just click it from here, but it's I am Vicky Phan. Again, I'm a business and marketing mentor. Currently, I am launching a group program. Right now, today is under a 4-figure investment. So it's really exciting, but prices go up this week. It's going to be about building your offer. So again, if you're looking to scale, right now is the perfect opportunity for you to build this offer with me. It's a group program, but I'm really hands-on. So I'll be reviewing all of your content, the foundations, the strategy, giving you all of my analysis and review from this big old brain of mine, and supporting you through that launch. Again, it comes down to fine-tune messaging, comes down to your offer, it comes down to your ideal client symmetry and all that good stuff. So I have 6 spots available right now, and we're starting in September. So that is exciting, but that's how you can work with me right now.
Awesome. Congratulations on launching your group offer. I know how exciting that is. I'm actually doing some behind the scenes stuff too. But right now, again, I'm Alaina. And if you would like to work with me, I have my signature program, VA the Elite Way. It is my signature one-on-one coaching program that'll teach you how to create your high-end virtual assistant business and sign clients in 90 days. I'll help you with marketing. I'll help you with strategy. I'll help you with the foundational elements needed to build your virtual assistant business, the tech, and you'll be 100% supported. If you want more information about that, the links are in my bio and or DM me, and I'll be happy to discuss it with you directly. But again, Vicky, thank you so much. I'm beyond today. This was just awesome. Seriously, I love the conversation and it was definitely value packed. So thank you so much for sharing the stage with me today. And I hope that we do more of these.
First, I had a really amazing time and I love talking to you. I think we just have such vibey conversations, so I really love that. And I'm so excited to, again, do another live with you soon. So
most definitely, most definitely. Well, have a great rest of your day and I will talk to you soon. Thank you everybody for showing up.
right. Bye.
Bye.